Welcome on a Saturday. Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you. As always, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Ryan Coleman, host of Real Estate with Ryan. I'm always with my lovely co-host, but we've got our baby son, Isaac, and April's out for maternity leave. She'll be back in the studio soon. She sends all the love from the Coleman house. So big day, and so excited to be in the studios. So glad that we're back to working. We've always been working as we're essential in the marketplace. But officially, that everybody's open, things are moving forward. I think that's a big step, and we're so excited to be moving forward. Real estate market's moving very, very fastly, and a lot of things are moving here in the East Tennessee market. So we have a great show for you today. I've got some big announcements. If you follow us last week, we had last week's show, and we went back in the archives. We were talking about some of the old shows that we did. We had some really great topics. We're going to do more of that today. Just because of all the news media and everything that's going on, guess what? Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? What about making a lowball offer? Is there an opportunity for that? So you're going to tune in here in the show. We're going to jump into the middle of our show. We're talking about lowball offers and how you need to deal with them. But more importantly, I want to do some congratulations and this huge announcement that we have. Number one, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. White on the sale of their home and the purchase of their new home. We were so excited to help them and officially make it sold and close this out and start a new chapter in their life. So excited to be in part of that process. And congratulations to the Smiths on the sale of their condo. Busy, busy week. Thank you so much for all the trust and support. We couldn't do it without you guys. Now, big news. Before all the corona and everything was going on, we were working really, really hard with the University of Tennessee and Vol Network to put this deal together. This was actually working in the months, but with everything broke out, we weren't able to put it out. So today, good, big announcement. We're proud to be corporate sponsors of the University of Tennessee Volunteers. Go Vols. We're excited what that brings to our business. We're excited what it brings to our potential sellers and buyers with more exposure, more opportunity, reaching more buyers and sellers throughout the community. And number one, with a brand that you can trust. Obviously, we always talk about on the radio, you need an agent, you need somebody in your corner, especially in these times, that you can trust to walk you through that. And being able to partner with the University of Tennessee and being proud corporate sponsors with all that brings is a great honor. There's no greater school in the U.S., and we're proud to be a Vol, and Proud Hometown Realty is partnership with that sponsor. So exciting news, super excited. We'll have a lot more new stuff coming out. We're going to be doing things to the radio show and a whole lot of new ideas that we'll be doing in marketing. But I want to tell my audience, my family, first breaking news, and you guys get to hear it first. So excited. Look, we're going to jump into this show. I hope you enjoy it. It's how to deal with lowball offers. We're going to drop in here and talk about how to deal with those and get that full price offer and tell that lowball offer to keep kicking. That we're not there yet. Corona didn't take us out. Market's good. Economy's good. We're moving in the right direction. Hope to see you guys next week. So I felt like we had an offer the other day. We negotiated almost $80,000 above where they started. And we started talking about this. And you guys, if you've ever bought real estate or known anybody that's bought real estate, as an agent, you go, what is the worst thing you want to hear? Well, they're going to make me an offer. That offer could be ridiculous. That offer could be, really, really low ball, or could be somewhere reasonable. But when you hear they say, want to make me an offer, most people, the sellers, they usually cringe to determine on what that offer is going to be, right? Well, make me an offer. I'm going to make an offer. It's a low ball. So we talked about it. Let's talk about this show, how making a low ball offer may not be in your best interest and what you need to do to get the right offer. Because remember, the goal is to get the house. Sometimes we make that low ball offer. We're not starting off on the right foot. We're starting off in an adversarial way. You've offended the seller. The buyer thinks he's going to get a steal. And part of real estate, guys, is bringing people together. It's bringing people together, a buyer and seller, and they all have the common goal. The seller wants to sell, the buyer wants to buy. How do we do that? A lot of times is try to bring them together. And pricing is the hard part of the conversation. So we're going to talk about lowball offers and why maybe making a lowball offer is not your best. Let's talk about some congrats as we get going on the show. Congratulations to Mills Way. Just sold condo in West Knoxville. Just actually sold. Congratulations to them and the buyers. Let's see, Center Oak Drive in South Knoxville for a contract in just record time. Congratulations to them. They're pending. Cambridge Shores Lane in Timberlake and Halls. Congratulations. St. Regent's Lane sold it the second time in Farragut. They're so excited about being pending. And let's see here. What else do we have going on? Forest Oak, congratulations on the sold on that one in West Knoxville in record time. To the Reagans, congratulations on Martin Mill Pike. That actually went pending for the second time. We've got a new price drop on Cripple Mule in Fox Den. You definitely want to check that out at 1299. So basically under 1.3 million. You definitely want to check out Cripple Mule. Beautiful property over there on the golf course. Crosswinds Drive. That's over here in Farragut. We've got a new price on that at 509. You definitely want to see that. Thimblefields Drive, River Sound. Oh, beautiful community, almost 8,000 square feet. We've got a new price on that at $929,900. So you definitely want to check that out. Gorgeous home. Owners have relocated, and they said we need to sell it this summer. So $929,900, new price on that. I don't think that will be long. Captain's Way, we have a beautiful new price, $2.550 million on that. New price, beautiful property in River Club. You have to check it out. Summer's just officially starting, so you want to see that property. Make sure you miss out. Hey, guys, don't miss out. What I want you to do, all these are all on my website. Makes it very easy. Go to ryancoleman.org. We'll fly through these, but these are all on my website, ryancoleman.org. Blackberry Lane and Dandridge, congratulations to them getting sold. Colonial Drive up in Pigeon Forge, pinned to them with multiple contracts. I think we had 8 contracts in record time with them, and we actually are excited to get them closed coming up here soon. Let's see here, Andy's Ridge and Rocky Top. We've got a contract for them. Congratulations. We've got a new listing over in Gladwood Road in Clinton, a new listing out on Park Lane in Andersonville, property over in Red Hill Road, new listing out there. Make sure you check that out in Andersonville. And new price drop for our great seller over here in Center Park Lane, right out there. We were just out there a couple hours doing some promotional tours on that. $849,500. Absolute must-see. It has so much to offer right on the outskirts of Knoxville, and it's a custom build. You definitely want to look that up as well. New adjustment on Shady Lane, $220,000. Congratulations to the Fairgrounds Place in Kingston. See, I'm sorry, guys. I can't skip anybody here, so I got to tell everybody through. New listing on Brentwood Drive in Kingston. New price drop on Holly Lane in Kingston. And our new listing out there in Northbridge Close in Kingston, just listed at $524,750. And let's see, congratulations to our friends in Tomotley out in Tellico. And a new listing in Westchester Court in Avalon. Oh, and of last, we can't forget Steer Creek, our property out in Steer Creek, 500 Steer Creek. It's $1.5 million, over 100 acres. Oh, it's gorgeous. Make sure you check that property out with mountain views. You just can't miss out. And new listing on Mill Lane that's pending, along with a new listing in Lowe's Branch in La Follette, a new price out in Cove Point Road in La Follette as well. So don't forget our lot in Wind River, Oakham Court at 385 waterfront lot. You don't want to miss that out. So thank you. Sorry for the long road call, but we've been busy. We're busy over here. Our job's to help people, and we've been excited. We've been entrusted with so many properties and so many clients, and excited for you guys listening to us. Now, let's get into the show. We're talking about why making lowball offers is not to your best interest. Well, I was chatting with a client that we talked the other day, and the biggest issue before we come into the other side of the break is, what is wrong with making a lowball offer? Why is that a big deal? Well, the biggest thing, as I was saying when we were opening the show, is when you come in really, really low, a lot of times we start the negotiating process in a bad position. Let's understand, guys, that real estate is really, a buyer wants to get the best deal, right? Seller wants to get above market. That is always real estate. It always will be. No matter what the market is on, it's always going to be that scenario. What we've got to do is get in a position that's a win-win for both. Now, if we're listed at $350,000 and we get an offer of $250,000, we've got a lot of room to do, a lot of work to do as well. And so that challenge is when you come in with that initial offer, we usually upset the seller. And a lot of times the seller puts the wall up. They don't want to respond. If there's another agent involved, they're offended. They're saying, hey, I'm not going to respond. And the buyer, remember, their goal is say, well, maybe the home has been on the market for 3 or 4 months or longer. Maybe we should just make an offer and have a starting point. So as we're coming on this side of the break, we're going to talk more about lowball offers and what we need to do to get your property accepted. You're listening to Real Estate with Ryan. So stay right here on this break, and we'll talk more about lowball offers and getting your property accepted versus rejected.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, guys, you're back with me, Real Estate with Ryan. We're talking about lowball offers, how to get a lowball offer accepted. More likely, not to get your lowball offer rejected and get the house that you're looking for. So lowball offers, do you do them? Do you not do them? And how do you handle those during the whole process? Well, listen, doing real estate for over 20 years, it won't be the first or the last that we've had a lowball offer. And there's always that conversation. As we were talking in the first segment, we were talking about having that $80,000 offer that was off price. And where do you go on that? Do you just give up and say that these guys are never going to put the deal together? Well, I was able to put that deal together, and I bridged the gap. We fought for our seller, and we were able to bring the meetings of the minds together. So not only does it win like that, but remember, just because a buyer makes you a lowball offer does not mean they're not serious about the property. Now, the biggest issue with the lowball offer, as we were talking on the other side of the break, was what do you do with that lowball offer when it comes in, the seller is already offended? You know, let's say they've been in the market a couple months, they haven't got an offer, and now they got an offer that's way below market or way just not even realistic, right? How do you talk to that seller and how do you bring these guys together? Now, the biggest challenge we see in real estate or working with agents is when we have agents that are working with buyers, the first thing that they find a property, what they want to do is kind of make an offer. And when they make that offer, the biggest thing, they'll show the property, they're interested, all the buying signals are there, right? The kids' swing set up perfectly, the master suite is laid out, the yard, the neighbors, the location to work, everything's there. But what happens is usually that agent or the buying agent, if there is one, says, what do you want to offer? And then the agent goes, well, let's offer them X. And usually X may not have any reason behind it. There may be longer days on the market for whatever reason, and they come in with a ridiculous offer. Our job on the beginning point is remember that most of the negotiation is done from the first offer. What do you mean by that? Well, we talk about the seller's position and the willingness to move off a ridiculous offer. The one we got to come up $80,000 was a lot of work. And my sellers were really doubtful from the beginning in getting involved with that process when they come in so low. You got to remember, guys, when you encourage your clients, or if you're on the other side, whether you're representing the buyer or on the seller, and they come in so low, there's just so much work to go. A lot of times that the parties are not feeling that you're very interested. So rule number one is if you really want the property, make sure you do your homework and don't come in with something that's ridiculous and going to upset the seller. With any negotiating, it takes two. And so having two people to negotiate and not get offended really starts to negotiate in a good position. Now, there's some question regarding should you immediately, if you're representing a seller or working with the seller on your side, should you immediately reject that offer? I can't tell you countless times that either we've talked to sellers or I've dealt with agents on the other side where a lowball offer has come in and the agents do not even respond. They won't even respond. Some of the agents get on their high horse and will not even present the offer. It's kind of outstanding. They just said, oh, the seller will not take that. Well, the biggest rule in selling is make sure you present all your offers to your client. Remember what you guys are doing, who you're working for. And even if it's a bad offer, remember, our job is to have a conversation. We want to have a conversation. Even if we're 80 or 100,000 or $1 million off, it could be a ways, right? We want to have a conversation. Your home has been on the market and this is the first offer that you have. Even if it's low, that's saying something, right? You don't have multiple offers. You don't have 10 people bidding for the property. It's one of two things. The pricing's not there. Maybe there's not the demand. Or a combination of the pricing, marketing, and the agent that you choose. Could be all that put together. But for whatever reason, you don't have two to pick from. So keep in mind, keep being humble as a seller. Let's go back and have that conversation. What I want to do with that buyer, what we want to talk to that buyer about is, yes, Mr. Buyer, we can come in with a really, really low ball offer and the seller can reject it immediately. Or they can counter back and pay the, I'll come down a couple grand and we're still $78,000 off, right? What we want to do is look at comparable sales. What we want to do is our homework. The numbers don't lie. We want to look at the sales that are in around the area. If you're representing a buyer, make sure you pull those sales just as you were from as a listing, if you're helping a seller that wants to sell. Imagine that you were selling that property and see what is sold around the area. See what those homes are bringing, price per square foot, if it has a basement, what finishes and upgrades all it has, and see if there's any special features that really make it outstanding in a unique property versus just the cookie cutter down the street. If you do all that and you present those numbers, when you come back to the buyer and position yourself, you're going to put them in a lot better position starting point when you submit the offer for whatever it may be. Even if there's some distance on the offer, you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller or Mr. and Mrs. Seller's agent, we made you this offer and we feel like it's a reasonable offer, and here's our reason why. We've got 3 comparables that have sold within the 3 miles of you or a mile of you and this kind of square footage and similar in price. And they were on the market, less than 60 or 90 days. You've been on the market 6 months. See, all these things are logic. The numbers don't lie. It takes a lot of the emotion out of the deal. Now the seller's not mad. You've come with a logic offer. You've presented them some facts and data, and they know you're serious. You've done your homework. Even if you get to the point, we talked about this before, of making that counter, always counter every offer. The biggest mistake you can do as an agent or a seller is not counter the offer, even if it's with the same terms. So we just worked one out 2 minutes ago, and the deal was maybe, what did we start out? Maybe $35,000 away, and we bridged the gap and we put it together. But part of the counter was there was a lot of other terms, say possession date, some furniture, some different things like that, moving parts, where it looks like we were not going to bridge the gap, and we came back with that offer. We came back with that offer in writing with the price unchanged, and we position it back to the seller. Another thing that most people, if you're dealing in the real estate industry, the agents go back and forth and they do a little poker game. And that's their job with their clients. They're doing a good job to advocate for their clients. But it's something about putting it in writing and position it back to the seller. We'll always put you in a position of firm strength and letting them know that we're only a few dollars away, or we're considering your counter. We're doing everything you're asking, but this is firm on our price. It's always going to help you, and then you've done everything you can to secure that house. Sellers, we have to look at our price. If we're getting lowball offers, why are we getting lowball offers or no offers at all? I know every seller that we have, their home is the best, has the most features, has the most updates, and it is far better than the neighbor's home down the street, and that is very hard. And a lot of these beautiful properties, they really are. But the market is the market, guys. And I always tell my clients, right now we're the highest bidders on the property, and we really have to even constructively consider buyers' feedback. We know that they want to get a deal. We know they want to have an opportunity for a great deal. But if we've been in the market, in a historically hot market that we've been in the last 2 years in Knoxville, and we're not getting the movement and we're not getting offers, I can tell you most of the time it's your pricing that is the issue. We also need to talk about the offer and what's important about that. How about closing date? How important is that to you? Make sure when you make an offer, make sure we have a solid deposits. Escrow deposits are very, very important. It shows how important you are about making the offer. If you come in with a $50,000 escrow or $25,000 escrow, you're not walking away from that. If you put a $500 escrow, there's not much skin in the game, right? So let's make sure we make a good offer with a good escrow. If you're getting financing, first thing you have to do is have a financing letter and make sure it's not just a pre-qualification. Make sure it's a pre-approval. Let them know that you went the steps of getting your credit checked, your income, and all that squared away. Your down payment, that's already checked out. Do not add all these contingencies to an offer. They blur the picture and get you away from your prize. Most importantly, if you get a lowball offer, it does not mean you're desperate. If you have to counter back as a seller, it means you want to sell. And the sellers that are willing to counter back and try to work a deal and put something together, even if it doesn't work, will be the one with the sold sign. While some take their pride and don't sell the property because they're afraid to negotiate. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Every Saturday, we're here on the radio. We talk about real estate and try to keep you up in the market here. If you need me for anything at all, it's an easy number, 693-SOLD, 693-SOLD. You can visit me on my website at ryancoleman.org. And if you guys are following me on social media land, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our page. And so glad to have you guys, and you have an awesome weekend.